Welcome to Crosstalk, episode 14.
All right. Yeah, we're not even keeping track anymore. Our memories are just that excellent right now.
Good luck.
We're going to lose track at some point, and we'll probably have to look back at previous weeks to figure out which episode it was. But you know what? We'll do the extra work because we love you, and we don't want to mislead you, if at all possible.
You know how I know what episode it is?
How?
Because when I set up the folder structure every week for all of the different elements that go into this,
yeah,
I just name it the episode. And
nice.
it doesn't, it just goes up by one. Like nothing.
Sure.
That's how I know.
That's kind of how my sermons work. Like if I'm going through a series, you know, like the Creed, I know that this is week 4.
Sure.
So, yeah. As I do the file structures on it, that's.
I'd like to
usually how it
thank
works.
Lance Clark and Adam Widener for teaching me how to properly structure my folders when organizing media projects so that I don't lose my stuff. I still lost my stuff, but it wasn't because I wasn't organizing. It's just because computers are naughty sometimes.
They sometimes are. Yes, absolutely. All right. Well, welcome. Holy smokes. What a week. We had to cancel services along with the rest of the county region. You know, even our friends over at our previous church in Huntington canceled. The roads are still not good, especially out in the country.
Yeah.
All of the schools closed today again.
No one's been having school this week at all.
Nobody. Yeah.
And most people aren't even doing e-learning. They're just flat out just like.
Well, you can only do 3 e-learning days in a row.
Oh,
and
really?
then it has to be a true snow day.
Really?
So they've been doing e-learning and synchronous learning. So e-learning is just posting assignments, but after so many e-learning days, you have to move to synchronous, which is where you're all on Zoom from like 9 to 11:30, and after that, you know, just being available to be contacted if you're a teacher. I know all of this because I'm married to one, and so
I'm pretty sure that South Adams has flat out just like had snow days this week. They've not done any learning.
Really? Okay.
Yes. Like it says like closed today.
That's what I know that was today's case. Because I think all the schools canceled on Friday. I know Southern Wells did because of the extreme cold. I think
Right.
they all canceled last Friday. So this is
Day 4.
day 6, including the weekend,
Oh, sure.
where kids are at home. So that's been exciting. The stir craziness has kind of been the joke in my house.
Yeah.
So,
We're not really affected.
not terribly, no. I guess I'm super bummed that we're not meeting. You know, you're watching this on Friday, but we weren't able to meet for Wednesday nights this week because, per our policy, if the school cancels, we don't meet. But it's almost like a second Christmas break all over again. Not too far from the last one.
I'll take it.
So, yeah. But no, it's good to be here and even just jump in a studio. I joked around. I was on the phone with a couple people from a church yesterday, and I said, you know, this is funny. This is the most shelter in place that we've done since that virus that we won't name from like 5-6 years ago. So it's at least we know that this will move past a little bit faster. I
sure hope so. I'm looking at the weather and like it just consistently just cold for the next couple weeks.
Yeah, well, at least we're supposed to get to and a little bit above 30 degrees at the end of next week.
Okay.
So now the interesting thing as far as travel is concerned, Marco, guy we went to college with, he's coming up to stay with Kylie and I this weekend because he has like a day that he can take off of work during his birthday month. So he's using this last one to come up and hang out with us, and so he'll be here Sunday. We can't cancel church this Sunday. Hopefully there's no more winter storming coming. But I said, well, dude, you want to map out your county because Jay County just went back to red, and that'll be on your route up here from Louisville. Woo! So check the map before you come. But he's pretty fearless guy. He's a mechanic, so he's not afraid of anything as a driver either. But yeah.
Don't make me tell the story about the time in the Livingston lot that he put a hole in a car part he shouldn't have put a hole in it.
Oh, so what he was doing, it was really late. Lighting was bad. And working on unibody cars, especially Chevy Cruzes, are a nightmare. And he punctured a hole in the radiator because he just didn't bite it in the exact right place. And that's easy to do. I've worked on stuff in the college dorm parking lot, and it's never fun. So the drive shaft on my truck, senior year, right before winter break, or it might have been J-term. So it would have been 2019, 2020.
No rules, J-term! If you know, you know.
Yeah, if you know, you absolutely know. So I was coming. No, yeah, it was J-term because I was coming back to Huntington, and I started hearing a squeaking sound. I was
Probably a mouse.
On my truck, and I was like,
Probably a mouse.
This is the carrier bearing. I went through 9 carrier bearings on the drive shaft, and I finally took it all out instead of just replacing the bearing. This is when Jesse Frank had that Dodge pickup truck that was like mine, but it was a 1500. So he was kind enough to drive me up to Fort Wayne Clutch and Driveline with that shaft, and the drive shaft was bent. That's why it kept eating through carrier bearings.
Yeah.
So they made a new drive shaft, and then by the time it was done, like a week later, I want to say it was like 10 degrees and snow. I was putting that thing back in, laying underneath of it in the parking lot. So it's not fun to work on.
At least it was asphalt.
With snow on it, but yeah, it was just horrible. It was cold. No, I don't think there was snow. It was just really cold. Yeah, because it was blacktop. But so yeah, and you know what? You work on enough stuff, you puncture it. What's even more amazing? That Chevy Cruze is still his everyday driver. He still has the same car, and it's in pretty decent shape. And if you can keep a Chevy Cruze running for that long, we're talking 8 years now, and I think it was like a 2016 model, that's quite impressive.
Yeah.
Some of the engines in those things were terrible. But I'm not trying... hey, look, I'm historically a GM guy. I'm not trying to say anything bad about them, but... everybody has some stuff that they produce that's just not always that great. Sometimes it comes in the form of a podcast, but you're listening to us anyway.
I don't think that I'd buy anything Chevrolet unless it was like a Corvette and maybe the truck, but I would probably lean into like a GMC.
The same thing. The exact same thing.
Yeah.
They're made in the same factories, just different badges. I don't think I would buy...
I drove enough Chevy things on that car lot to know that I don't want to own...
I will never have an Equinox or a Trailblazer or a Cruze.
Gosh. Oh my God. Those are just like the scourge of used car lots.
Yep.
Traverses, Equinoxes,
yeah.
Acadias. Nope.
Yep.
Throw them out.
Throw them away.
They're awful.
However, I would buy any GM pickup truck that was made 2007 and earlier. They were... untouchable. Before the government bailout, GM's truck line was untouchable.
Okay.
There are people still driving those things today. Did you see the article about the one guy in like Wisconsin?
No.
It was a green, and this was just a 1500. It was like a 99 model Chevy. It was green. The frame was broken. The bed was up.
Yes,
and
I
this
saw
thing
that.
was still driving like 500,000 miles. Body completely fell apart. The dealership bought it back and then gave him like a 2019 or something like that.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a brand new one, but still. And people were saying, well, the 2019 is not going to make it as long as the 99 did.
Nope.
But
okay, Haas.
you weren't even going to go there. Anyhow, so yeah. Buddy Marco's coming this weekend. You guys will get to meet him. He's a pretty cool guy. This weather has been a serious storm. I don't know if I've had a winter storm like this since we got married. And I always wanted one when we were living out in the country because I had equipment that could push all of it around.
Yeah.
And we never got one. So now it's, I had to just use my shovel. I suppose if I wanted to get the dozer out and just drive up and down the streets of Bern, I could. But
Well, you might as well bring it on over to my house the next time it snows. And
it'd take me a while to get there.
that's the fun part.
Yeah. I don't know. The road gear's pretty fast. It's just pushing the snow would take time. So.
Just come plow out my driveway for me.
Yeah.
That was even with Abby's car parked in her spot, so like there was less snow than what I would have had to if it was just empty. But like, when we bought our house, we have a really nice stamped concrete patio, and we got like a whole like 5-page booklet from the previous owners about how to take care of different stuff that they had done to keep it nice. And they said like, don't use salt on the patio, and don't use a shovel with like a metal strip tip, for scraping, because
use plastic one.
Use a plastic one. All I could find when I was shopping for a shovel was like there was no like scoop to it. It's
They're flat.
It's mostly it's just a gentle curve, and that thing.
The crescent moon, kind of.
Yeah,
that's how they look.
And
rounded, but yeah.
That's all I have at the moment, because even if I wanted my shovel from Huntington that I haven't brought with me, it has a metal like strip on it. Like, yeah, I can use it in the driveway, but I can't use it to like shovel the sidewalk and the patio.
Yeah.
And so it probably took twice as long as what it should have, because I couldn't scoop, and also like, yeah, I don't know.
I have the same kind of shovel in metal that's probably 50 years old that just was in the building that's here. Yeah. Which is better than any other shovel I've had. But when I was living out in the country, I never really needed a shovel because I had front loader. And, they just clear it with the tractor. Everything's done from the seat. But anyhow, hope you guys are staying safe and warm. And we have a couple of things as far as announcements. The really important one, we have how many spots left for soups, salads, and desserts?
I don't know.
It's like 3, 5, and 2 or something like that. There's like close to 10 spots.
I know it's in order. It's soup, salad, and dessert on the sheet. So 3 soups, 5 salads, and 2 desserts.
I think that's right. Okay. Yeah. So make sure to, if you want to put your name down on something, call the office this afternoon. And if you don't get a hold of the office, call me, and I'll make sure to put your name down just so we have the information. If you have a bulletin sitting in your house, you have my phone number. So there you go. If I've ever sent you an email, I texted most of you in the entire church this past week with the cancellation notice and the service stream. So if you have any questions, please feel free to get a hold of me. I'll be happy to provide that information to you. We are not doing a movie night until the 15th of February. Mm-hmm. And then also, after the 15th, that coming Wednesday, the 18th, during our Wednesday night meeting time, we will be having, for the adults, the Ash Wednesday service as a beginning into our Lenten season. So please keep those on your calendar. For Ash Wednesday, I would actually encourage you to invite friends, because it's, this is, I would say, critically important remembrance, worship, liturgical, and, doctrinal stuff related to the journey to the cross for Jesus. And, we believe the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. We know for a certain it is the linchpin of the Christian faith. So this is critical stuff for anybody who might be curious, wondering. If they want to have conversations, bring them in, and I'd be happy to talk, get to know them, hang out, all of that sort of stuff. I just encourage you to be praying, especially as we head towards Lent. Can't believe that's here already. It seems like we just finished Advent.
Mm-hmm. I have 2 announcements.
Sure.
Okay. Number 1, all church bingo night is Wednesday, February 11th.
Yes.
And the Hope Clinic baby shower
bottle collection stuff
is still going on. It's been extended because of the yucky weather. We have a good amount of stuff, but let's fill this table to the brim full of stuff.
This Sunday, right?
It's until the 15th, I think.
Okay.
Of February.
All right. Well, keep pouring stuff in until February 15th.
I do know that for some reason or another, we don't have a list. I don't know what happened to it. So I texted our good buddy Carol Luther because Carol knows what they need. And Carol told me
She knows everything that goes on in this town.
that the biggest needs are little girls' clothing starting at 9 months and up. And I'll just pull out the text. It's a short list. But that's how I told my wife to shop. I said, Carol, what do we need? And she told me what we needed. Carol. Okay. An incomplete list is girls' outfits sizes 9 months and up, baby body wash, and baby bottles.
All right.
I think most or all of the babies at Margie's place are girls, and so that's why they need. I think the youngest is around 9 months, and then up. So that girls' clothing, body wash, and bottles.
Okay, very good. Thank you for digging that for us, and
You're
thank you,
welcome.
Carol, for being so involved in that type of stuff, and also our very own Gidget who works for them and does just incredible. That place does incredible ministry. To have it's not just a pregnancy resource center. We are taking in mothers and helping them and equipping them to be moms who can care for their children. Like that's just a monumentous, important, very good ministry that they're doing. And
we ought to have one of those moms on sometime and tell just a quick
bit
of their story. So if you guys didn't go to the Hope Clinic banquet back in November, we got to hear from one of the moms talk about a very abridged version of her story and how she ended up at the Hope Clinic and all the good things that are happening in her life now because she's given her life to God and she's doing this and she's doing that and
it's just it's a place that sees a lot of transformation, so that's really, really good. Go Burn. Thanks for meeting the need of your people.
Go Starfire.
I live with the Starfires are fine. I live with somebody who was born and raised a Jet and now is a Raider by employment. So my loyalties have to be zipped at the moment.
My mom is actually from this area and graduated from South Adams long time ago. So she's a Starfire.
A long time ago. Layla, did you hear this? Do you see what he's saying here? Goodness.
I bet she's not even watching.
That's okay. I'm coming to your defense.
My dad went to Mississinawa, which is in Gas City.
Yep.
He was an Indian. My sister and I went to Madison Grant, so we're Argyles. Abby went to...
What's an Argyle?
It's a Scottish warrior.
Oh, okay. Nice.
I am almost certain that Madison Grant is the only United States high school with the Argyle mascot.
That's crazy. Have you ever tossed a caber before?
I don't know what that is.
It's like those telephone pole looking things at the Scottish Highland Games where caber toss. Yeah.
Nope, haven't done that.
Now that would be a fun youth group event. The Scottish Highland Games.
You know that 85 to 90% of my youth group is girls ages 12 to 17.
They can't be Scottish warriors? They cannot be. Can they not be feral and barbaric?
They are feral. I don't think they can be barbaric.
Fair enough.
Abby went to North Miami. I can't remember what that mascot is. I'm sure it's something general,
So North Miami is Kokomo in Miami County?
Kokomo is in Howard County.
Howard County. But it's not too far away from Denver, is it?
Not terribly far away.
Okay.
So the main... I'm pretty sure the county seat is Peru.
That's right.
And Peru Community High School is over there. Maconaquah is over there. North Miami's over there.
Okay.
They might be Indians or Vikings or Warriors or just
something like that.
Yep.
Probably not Vikings because they're too close to Huntington. That'd be surprising, but I guess
Bellamy's gonna be at Clock Tower.
Yeah.
Because we're going to homeschool him more than likely.
Yeah. Menserberg Plaza. Yeah. Now, I tell you what, Kokomo has...
Maybe he'll be...
some of my favorite cereal.
Do they?
Kokomo Puffs.
Okay. That was really just like poorly executed there.
You'd expect nothing less from me.
He's going to be a burn splash pad.
A burn splash pad? Nice. I like it.
All right. So I have some questions for you.
Okay. Questions of the day.
They're not really stumpy. They're just...
We're not doing a Hebrew quiz this time?
No.
I messaged Dr. Noble after that episode.
Yeah.
And I said... I scored about what I did on my quizzes when I was in college. So I just needed you to know on the air, I said it's not Noble's fault that I'm so terrible at Hebrew vocabulary, and he got quite a kick out of it.
I'm sure he did. Okay. These are really just to provoke silly rabbit trail type interactions here. So
Good.
Number 1. What's a completely normal, everyday thing that you are unreasonably passionate about to the point you could give a TED Talk on it with zero prep?
Everyday thing?
Yeah.
So it doesn't even have to be like a chore or something. Everyday thing that I'm passionate about, TED Talk on it. Okay. Toilet paper.
Really?
It has to go over. If it goes under, it's wrong. Same with paper towels. If it's going under, it's impossible to stop and hit at a stop point and rip it. It just doesn't work because it tries to unroll even more.
Yeah.
You can put your hand on top of it if it's over, and then you rip, and then, you know. I won't tell you what the next thing is because then we're getting into the rude territory, and that's just not good for table etiquette. And if you're watching this at dinner time, I don't want you to think about the things that I'm insinuating that you're probably already thinking about, so let's move on to the next question.
Okay. I'm trying to think.
What about you?
That's what I'm trying to think about. How about this? I'll read you the other questions and then we'll come back to me and I'll answer them at the end.
Okay, all right, fine.
Okay. What's something you're convinced everyone is just pretending to enjoy?
Full-size cucumbers. They are usually grimy. Their aftertaste is really bad. The little baby cucumbers are pretty good, but like the full-size ones, they're never good. And in my opinion, they are simply they haven't reached the processing point that they need to be at. They need to be pickled. They need to be in vinegar. They need to be in garlic, and they need to be salted, and they need to be thrown in a jar for people to actually enjoy. Cucumbers are disgusting, and I don't know why we actually grow them because it's terrible. There's so many other vegetables that are useful, and my grandma would always like put them in a salad, and then I would, and I'm not a picky eater, but I got to the point where I was like, can you please just separate a smaller collection of the salad mix for me that just doesn't have cucumbers in it? Because she'd dice them up into like quarter-sized pieces, and you'd occasionally get one, and that type of thing, the vibrancy that comes from a cucumber is just impossible to ignore. So, yeah. I'm speaking from my own personal textural and sensory issue with a vegetable.
Sure. What's a belief you held with total confidence as a kid that you now realize was completely unhinged?
Oh, this is a really good question. A belief I held with total confidence as a kid that I now believe is completely unhinged. I'm going to have to think on that one.
Okay.
Answer those first two.
What can I get of a TED Talk on?
A TED Talk of an everyday thing you're passionate about. And every day for you might also be different than other people.
Yeah.
Because you're in the media technical world too. And if you're not ready, I think I've got my belief I held as a kid
Go ahead.
that's unhinged now. So, I've always been a fairly passionate dude and held very strong convictions about things. And I guess a firm belief I held as a younger person, when you're a kid, if you have something that is like your thing, that is your favorite, and if somebody tries to refute it, you just get really defensive.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like almost like sports fandom in a sense, except I went through phases. One of the deepest phases was between 2nd and 4th grade. I was a Star Wars apologist, which I guess from a skill set standpoint has ended up serving me well now.
Yeah.
But that was kind of the thing for like 2 straight years. I was a pretty abrasive Star Wars apologist. And man, if younger me came to talk to an adult, I would be exhausted after like 15 minutes listening to me. So, you always think of your younger self, and if you're ever mentoring kids and you see bad habits of your younger self and the kid, it just makes you angry.
Oh, yeah.
But you're not angry at them, you're angry at you because it reminds you of you.
I felt that way serving in your youth group. There were 2 or 3 kids. I won't say their names on air. If you don't know, I'll tell you after we're done.
Right.
If you
I'm
can't
pretty sure I know who you're talking
where
about.
I just wanted to lovingly beat them over the head with a pool cue. Like, quit it. Like, I've been where you are. Just stop it.
Yeah.
Like,
don't be the stupid I was 12 years ago.
Like, specifically, like, being a know-it-all. I was a big know-it-all, like, upper elementary through middle school and a little bit into high school, too. And I wish I would have just learned to keep my mouth shut. It would have served me well in those years. And, like, it got to the point where, like, people didn't like me because I was a know-it-all.
Yeah.
And so, like,
it's a hard thing to realize, isn't it? Like, for personal growth and stuff like that. It's like it's a tough pill to swallow.
Well, and I was aware that I was being annoying, but, like, I didn't know how else to act. But anyway, we won't get into that.
Yeah. James chapter 3. That became one of my favorite books in college. And I had a couple of experiences where I just needed to learn how to shut up. And James chapter 3 talks about the taming of the tongue. And it's refinement, it's sanctification, but it's also discipline. And I think that's something that I never really forget and I often come back to. If I'm feeling like I'm a little unrefined on that kind of thing, I always come back to the book of James. So yeah, that would probably be my unhinged belief. I was a Star Wars apologist for like 2 years. I'm still a fan of the franchise, but looking back, because I could just retain information and gather data about stuff. I went through that with when I became a guitar player. It was like 70s and 80s rock and roll and heavy metal bands. And then into basketball, which I still keep up with quite a bit, all of that kind of stuff. So I don't know if I try to become an expert with things that I'm interested in, but I try to learn enough where I can have a really helpful conversation with just about anybody.
Yeah.
Like what I'm saying is what was an unrefined, shot into nowhere. Some of that ability has become useful now because I have a variance of knowledge about things and it helps me talk to just about any person.
Yeah.
And I think that helps with ministry stuff.
So I have an answer for the first one. You made me think of it. I could give a TED Talk on Star Wars. Easy.
Yeah. That's a fairly everyday thing too. Yeah.
Yeah, specifically, just all kinds of like niche things that like you wouldn't expect someone to know. Like I just know.
Oh, I mean
things.
Like the episode we did on Abeloth?
Oh yeah, that never got published.
Darn it. We were in the beginnings of a
yes
podcast in previous years with a couple friends of ours.
I suppose that at some point I could always try to revive it, but it's kind of tricky that, I I recorded all those episodes between you and me and Brooks all before Bellamy was born. So it's been over 2 years since I've recorded anything. And at this point, like, I have a baby on the way, middle of this year. Brooks and Kate are due in the next couple months. Like,
Yeah.
you guys are,
No way.
you guys are at some point, you guys are going to be pregnant too. Yeah, I don't know when outside of work hours I could record another podcast. Yeah. I'd like to, but
raising families is important though.
Yeah.
So, you know.
And then as for convinced everyone is just pretending to enjoy it, I don't have a great answer, but I'm just going to say cabbage, like we talked about last week.
It doesn't belong in a stew.
It doesn't belong anywhere. It needs to just be thrown in the trash.
You can eat it raw. You can enjoy it raw if you're just eating it by itself. But no, most of the time, cabbage, if it's cooked, is just wrong. I will go sit upon that hill and plant a flag. No cabbage in stew.
No cabbage anywhere.
Yep.
It's not necessary. Feed it to some animals. It's not fit for human consumption. Oh, and then also, yeah, okay. And then number 3. Don't have a great answer, but I'm going to say that I was, not for a long time, but for a span of a couple years, I was like 110% convinced that Santa Claus was real, and I would like defend him like to the ends of the earth based on a story that I was told from my grandma. And I'll just tell it real quick. I'll tell you, it will explain why I believed so firmly. It sounds, like it doesn't hold up now because I've heard like the whole true story. I only heard half of the story.
Sure.
Because if she tells the whole story, then, the argument for Santa Claus doesn't hold up anymore. So, when my grandma was a little girl living in rural Pennsylvania a long time ago, her sister was very, very, very sick around Christmas time and was just confined to her bedroom and very, very sick. And the doctor came, to see her, and the doctor's like, I don't know if she's going to make it to see Christmas, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what she had, but whatever sickness she had was probably going to kill her. Cause if you were too far gone, you're too far gone. There's nothing medicine could do at that point for you.
Sure.
And so I think, Christmas Eve, Santa Claus comes to visit and bring toys, and someone meets Santa Claus at the front door, and they had kept all the kids awake because I don't know why, but all the kids except for her sister were awake downstairs in the family room, gathered around the fire, just enjoying Christmas Eve. And Santa Claus knocks on the door, and her dad goes and opens the door and says, "Well, hey there, Santa Claus. I'm surprised you're here. My kids aren't in bed yet." And he's like, "Oh, well, I'm here to see," I don't remember the name of the sister. "I'm here to see, Janie." I don't know her name. I'm here to see Janie and to drop off your presents while I'm here. And so, everyone in the family had kind of already, come to grips with their sister's going to die, And so Santa Claus goes upstairs with the dad and prays with her and gives her a little toy. And the next morning she was 100% better.
That's crazy.
100% better. So I was like, Santa Claus has to be real.
Sure.
Now, I believe it was an uncle or an older male cousin or, a great uncle. Someone in the family came dressed up as Santa Claus. So, no, Santa Claus is not real. Sue me. But there is something to be said about this story, about the power of prayer and belief.
Yes.
That, no, Santa Claus is not real, and he can't save you from your illness, but there is something to be said about families praying and believing and hoping and miracles at Christmas.
Yeah, or anytime. I think that's an incredible story of.
That was a very disjointed way. It's been so long since I've heard it, but
sure, but like an incredible story of faith too. You know?
That's what ends up happening. And then it was only 5 or 6 years ago that like I had stopped believing for a long time, but I finally heard her tell the whole story all the way through, and I go, so she was just like leaving out details because we were little.
Yes.
To make us believe in Santa Claus.
Yeah. Yep. I showed Azaria a picture of Saint Nicholas this year,
yeah.
like the saint. I was like, hey, this is like the original picture of Santa, like an original. And I said, and before he was Santa Claus, he was a bishop, and I was telling her all of the details about Saint Nicholas, and I was like, and before he was keeping naughty and nice lists, he actually, punched Arius in the face. So it was.
So what I'm gathering from this is that Bishop Todd is going to be Santa Claus at some point, but he has to punch someone first.
No,
I
don't think so. I think that was pretty specific to because Arius confessed the heresy of Arianism, where he believed Christ was just a man, not God, and Saint Nicholas had been persecuted. And had experienced, the power of Christ, and the miraculous, all of these other things. And when they're meeting in this ecumenical council, the debate got heated, and he walks across the room, like slapped him or punched him in the face or something like that. So they actually removed his bishop's robes for a while because of it. It's crazy. Yeah, punched a heretic.
You didn't like my joke.
Oh, yeah, Bishop Todd? Yeah.
Yeah. All he has to do is punch someone and he can become Santa Claus.
Is that the rite of passage?
That's what history is telling us.
Yeah. Well, he did have a really funny thing recently. He was in like a building somewhere. I don't know where it was. He took a picture. There were the black and white checkered floor.
Uh-huh.
And he said, well, I can only move this direction. And he's going diagonally across the tiles, which was pretty good. So, yeah, good guy, Todd Fetters. But, yeah. So.
We should steal him from Brian and have him come on our podcast. Sorry, Brian.
Yeah. All right. So now we have
a final question.
An important question. How do you normally get your podcasts? Obviously, we do the upload to YouTube every week, but we can also put it some other places. Based on a request from a listener, we're going to be working on publishing the audio to Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and when those are live and ready, we will put links in the description on where you can find us on those things. Probably with every episode would probably be a smart thing to do.
Well, so if anyone is already familiar and is regularly listening to podcasts, all you have to do either on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts is, you'll just search for us, you can look for our logo, and then you can I think it's technically called subscribing or just following.
Follow or subscribe. You'll get up.
And then
there'll be a little on Spotify. You'll get a blue dot every time there's a new episode or new content kind of thing.
On Apple Podcasts, it will kind of it'll just show up when it's time for it to show up.
Yeah. In your feed
and that kind of stuff. And, we post, we've been hitting our 9 a.m. deadline basically every week when I configure it correctly, and so it'll just pop up when it's time, same day every week, assuming we have an episode. And so, yeah, so if you guys, we're going to do both Spotify and Apple Podcasts, but if you, want help getting that set up and figured out, let us know. I can try to help you guys get that figured out. There will not be video on Apple. There might be video on Spotify. If you want to watch and see all the dumb faces we make and us sneeze and burp and cough and try to hide it, you got to watch that on YouTube.
Yep, YouTube is the best place for the video experience, but
and
for audio, the other ones are good.
You'll miss out on all the silly jokes and all the silly things I do with the video if you don't watch the video.
Yeah. All of the creative elements that you drop into it. So yeah, that's kind of where we're going as we're developing stuff. So sermon recap. So you guys watched on Sunday a recording that we did on Saturday at 2:30 in the afternoon. I actually had somebody call me and say, "So when did you record that? It seemed like it was live on Sunday morning." I was like, "No, it was scheduled as a premiere, so it went through that 36-minute, record time, and then it was just available from there." So if you didn't catch that, feel free to go back on this YouTube channel and find it. You'll see the service from this past Sunday on the Lordship of Jesus.
I'd like to interject real quick. If you guys liked what you saw on Sunday morning, you'll be glad to know that we will be having a higher quality full service available online here in the next couple of weeks. We have purchased new equipment, and we are excited to get that installed and put together. We will not be streaming right away. There's a few things we have to work on in a separate project, but we will be posting the full services to YouTube.
Probably at like 11:30, won't we? Or will it be later in the day?
It'll probably be in the afternoon.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So we'll be doing that for a couple weeks while we get some stuff figured out.
Sure.
But if you guys start missing for weather or illness or anything, you can start watching it, after the fact. And then hopefully by springtime, we'll be streaming live. And if you're away on vacation or you're sick or you're traveling, it'll be really easy to just pull it up. We go live, you watch. There you go. It's like watching TV.
Yeah. Our good buddy Ted told me, I want to be vague with what I'm saying, but on Sundays that he won't be at church, he said, "Man, it'd be really cool to get like reminders when stuff pops up on here." I was like, "Well, if you go to YouTube and click the little bell,
yep,
you can subscribe and get notifications and all of that kind of stuff." So, there's some interest on that side of stuff. People really, all the feedback I heard was that people really like the sermon from Sunday, and that it was very well produced. It looked good, sounded good. So thank you to Coby for pulling all of that off. He just made it where I could, fit in a window on a camera and just be a talking head. So
we're gonna have 3 angles.
Yeah,
probably only really 2, but we're gonna have 3 cameras in this system. It'll have much more variety, and it'll be a little more visually appealing and exciting to watch.
Yes.
It won't just be
the still shot.
We're going to be getting away from mostly still shots and trying to add variety and some good stuff to our broadcast moving forward.
Yeah, and corporate media is your baby, so this is exciting for you, and I'm excited for you, for us. That
maybe we'll start having crosstalk on the stage.
Oh man, we'll have to put on lapels to do it. Well, I suppose we could do but it'll be hard to set up and tear down in there every week.
Just every once in a while for fun.
We could do like a special, I guess after Easter or something like that. Yeah. Look at you guys just helping us invent ideas while we're doing this. Helping us give a reason to verbally process all this stuff before you. So the Lordship of Jesus, as I said, I think the primary takeaway from all of that, gave all the information and the reasons to why Jesus is Lord. But the real hang up for us is Jesus is my Lord. And that's, I think, the chief hang up for people who want the benefits of Christ versus wanting to be in Christ. Is he seated upon the throne of my life? Is he the one who's steering the ship? Is he the one who I'm running every decision and every action and all of these other things through to the best I can, because he needs to refine all of this stuff. It needs to be his. That's where I think in today's age, where we can build an echo chamber for anything we want to hear, where Jesus is above all of that kind of stuff. And he truly instructs us in the way we go. And I guess my prayer for myself and for everybody else is, Jesus, may I see you more and more as my Lord every single day, and help me to trust you as the one who steers this ship, because I'm just not a great guide in that regard, you know. I think we recognize the more we try to do stuff in our human nature, it just fails. You know, it's not. It was never designed to work that way. It was supposed to be in a joyful, yielded partnership and fellowship with God, with Him in His rightful place. So, that's kind of where I came away with it from Sunday. Thank you for those of you who gave encouraging feedback on it. You know, sometimes when you sit back and listen to it talked through again after you've preached it, as I did on Sunday morning with my family, I'm just like, oh man, I don't know if this is gonna land. You know, you're talking in an empty room and stuff, but no, thank you for the encouragement and the feedback. It means a lot.
Did you notice that I left just a little bit of the echo in there so it didn't sound like you were in a box?
Yeah. It sounded good.
I kept just a little bit of the echo because it wouldn't be cross church without that famous
without the reverberation,
without the reverb and the echo.
Yeah. Yep. Now Ben, when I asked him about it, he said, for me that's better than live, because you know, some hearing loss stuff and you know that going straight and everything. It's pretty good in the service, but there's just a slight delay because it's a Bluetooth system that we have for that.
Right.
So
he's connecting to the unit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I think he and another couple of people do. So,
cool.
Yeah. So yeah. If you're a person who has some special hearing needs, we do have resources for that if you come worship with us on Sunday morning. So we're trying to make it a experience where it's easy for people to gather to worship and experience everything they need to when they come together with the people of God.
Do you have solutions for people who just don't listen? Especially people who don't listen to their wives.
Wouldn't that be all of us?
Yeah.
If we don't listen well enough.
Yeah.
You know, their crowns for righteousness are going to be steeply excellent.
Yes.
For putting up with turd heads like us. Am I allowed to say that on the air? I don't know if I am.
There's worse things you can say.
Sure. Yeah. It's like not etiquette for TV, I guess, but we don't have sponsors. We're independent media, so we can say what we want.
So I'll say this: I was surprised at how much swearing Pat McAfee's allowed to say on like ESPN1.
Yeah, that's it's a lot.
Personally, I'm not bothered by it, but I'm not going to swear on air. I try to not swear. It happens sometimes. Just recently, I've been like, because when they first put him on ESPN, they're like, you basically have a count, and then once you're past your count, like, we have to fine you, like withhold, earnings from you. And now, like, I think they try to just let him do whatever he wants because he is.
How much of a crowd does he draw? Right.
A lot.
He's 37. He's one of their newer media guys and one who actually knows what he's talking about. He's not just a screaming head.
Right. Stephen A. Smith is just.
I actually think Stephen A. knows more about stuff than.
I can't. I don't know either way. I don't listen to him because he's just obnoxious and has bad takes, and I don't care.
It's better now that he's not shouting at Max Kellerman about the Philadelphia Eagles when they were always terrible for that stretch of years too.
Yeah.
Anyway, wow, rabbit trail. But yeah, the Lordship of Jesus and things on air. But back to, people who just don't listen. Yeah, I pray the Lord softens your heart and mine too. So I have the, as we see in the book of Revelation, eyes to see and ears to hear what the Spirit of the Lord has to say to the churches. We want to be teachable. We want to be able to be refined. We want to be humble enough to be shaped into this new creation that the Lord wants us to be.
Mm-hmm.
And again, humility isn't a gift, it's a discipline. The Bible says to humble yourself. And that's the sacrificial piece on our part. Lay me down so Christ can take me up.
Yep.
And we trust the works of Christ to sustain us, the graces of Christ to sustain us, and that he'll establish us and equip us for every good work. Thanks for coming to listen today. I can't believe we turned around Pat McAfee to get there. That was pretty cool. Thank you, Lord, for steering us back onto the road. You have any final thoughts?
Go Hoosiers. They beat Purdue last night.
Yep. Oh, I was still thinking about the football game, which
Yeah.
was also awesome.
Yes. Yes. I think I didn't watch as much IU football as what I wanted to this year for one reason or another.
Yeah.
I watched the entire IU Miami game, or most of it. I might have tuned in late.
Yeah.
I don't quite remember.
Yeah.
I thought Miami was the toughest opponent IU played because
I would agree with that.
They steamrolled Alabama and made them look like a high school football
My
team.
dad thought Alabama was going to beat him. I said, there is no way. They are not.
They're not the same as they were when they had Nick Saban.
No.
And then they just demolished Oregon too. I was like, oh my gosh, IU by 50 against Miami. And then oh wow, Miami is actually
Miami's defensive line is serious.
they're coming out. They came to play. Everyone else, I don't know if IU's just that good or if they are just continuing to underestimate. Because IU and Oregon in the regular season was I think it was pretty neck and neck, and it went to overtime, I think, for IU to win. IU won by less than 7. So then to steamroll them in the playoffs. I also wonder how much of that is how many players sat out of the bowl games in preparation for the draft. I think that's been an issue. Or, I'm transferring, I'm not happy here. I'm getting more money elsewhere. I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I
But
don't like that for college football, but whatever.
it's been good for IU.
It was good for Ohio State last year.
I think it's good when you're in a good conference with good coaching and you have a good winning record. It's bad when you get recruited to play somewhere and
Your expectations aren't met
for
as a player.
financially or playing time, and your coach leaves or one reason or another. It's bad for teams that are bad. It's good for teams that are
That's true.
that are on the rise and are at the top of the mountain.
I will say, if it wasn't for the portal, I don't think Signetti could have done what he did in 2 years.
No way.
He would have had to take 6 years to get his recruits developed and in and all the way through.
Yeah,
It would have taken a lot longer.
I am excited that 3 years in a row we have a good transfer quarterback coming in, but I keep wondering, okay, great, we're getting good quarterbacks in the portal, but when are we gonna develop our own guys?
Doesn't matter. Signetti wins. Google him.
I
don't know if you guys knew this. I did after the game, and the Google at the top it said, "Yep, he won."
Did you hear about his Chipotle order? It is you can walk in now and go hey, I want the Signetti bowl, and it's I think it's brown rice, chicken, and pinto beans. I think he eats that every single day for lunch. I'm not kidding.
Okay.
So there's a staffer or an intern or something on the IU football team, and one of his jobs is to go get lunch for Kurt every day, and Kurt doesn't want the Chipotle points. So this staffer and he's not being dishonest. He's hey, do you want me to use your account? Because Kurt's paying for it or the school's paying for it. I don't know.
Sure.
Hey, do you want these points so you can get free entree? He's no, you can have them. And so the staffer has 65,000 Chipotle points
Because he eats it for lunch every day?
Yeah, and he doesn't want the points, so the staffer just gets them. So the staffer can just flip the payment method to his own personal payment and
That's
just
so funny.
just can eat free lunch.
Sweet.
I think one burrito bowl is like 1,800 or 2,000 points. So he's
Sure.
got like a whole month's worth of just like free lunch because the coach doesn't want the points.
Nice. All right.
When we did the catering, we had about 10 meals worth of points that we got from the catering. And
Wow.
so right after that, like once a week, I would drive to Chipotle on my lunch break and go get free lunch.
Nice. That's awesome. All right. Well, thank you for coming to listen to us today. Look forward to getting over this big nasty weather and
Good
gathering
luck.
back with you. Come and eat some hot soup and fellowship together on Sunday because we just need to see people at this point. You know, we've been locked away for a week. So look forward to seeing you then. May the Lord bless you and keep you.
Be sure to drink your Chipotle.
In a blender.
Bye.
Shalom.